Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Melinda's Messy Sink. Today's video I am super duper excited about. I am starting a series over the next few Sundays where I am thanking other YouTube creators who helped put me on the right path. So today's collaboration is with Tamara from Southern Wife Everyday Life. I watched Tamara's channel religiously before I became a creator. So it was so awesome to find out how neat of a person that she was once I became a creator. Tamara's cookbook collaborations really helped me connect with other YouTube creators as well as helped my channel to grow. Tamara, I want to thank you so much, number one, for inspiring me to become a YouTube creator, and number two, for all your help during my first collaboration. It's funny to me, I had no idea what a playlist was, nothing, and Tamara really helped me through that. I have Tamara's channel listed below in the description box, as well as a What's for Dinner video that she has for our collaboration. So don't forget to check out Tamara's channel if you're not already subscribed. She has some amazing content. She does What's for Dinner videos, she does grocery haul videos, she does budget meals, she does desserts, What's for Dinner. She does a lot with Prepper Pantry right now. She helps you determine where's the cheapest place to buy groceries. So her channel is packed full of amazing content if you haven't already joined. So let's go ahead and get started on our What's for Dinners this week. Hey guys, tonight for dinner we are having baby back ribs. And what I'm doing right now is going through and tearing off this membrane in the back of the ribs. Okay guys, now that we have that membrane off, we are going to start seasoning up. I'm going to season with John Henry's honey rib seasoning. I'm going to do onion powder, garlic powder, and some barbecue seasoning that I found at Rural King as well. I'm going to go ahead and season both sides of my rack of ribs. I am actually going to be doing 2 racks of ribs today. So I've already got the first one done, and now I'm going to add my additional rack. I'm just going to pick it up and put it in. And then what I like to do, we didn't have any beer in our house. We're not really big drinkers, but typically we usually have some kind of beer just in case we have guests come over. So I went to the liquor store and I bought 1 can of beer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour this in the bottom of this pan. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I've got my rack of ribs seasoned and I've got my beer in the bottom. I am going to cover this with foil. I have pretty thin foil, so I'm gonna use 2 different pieces of foil. My oven is preheated to 325 degrees. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes at 325, and then I'm going to turn it down to 250 and let it cook for several hours. Okay guys, my ribs have been cooking for 3 hours. They have completely pulled away from the bone. Like the bones, if I lifted up the bone, it would just fall right out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spread on some barbecue sauce since I know they're done. So this is an Indiana brand of barbecue sauce, and so you can find it. I don't know if it carries nationwide, but we can get it at Kroger's or Walmart here locally. So I had about a half a jar left, and I'm going to put that on this one side. On the other rib, I found this barbecue sauce at a home show that we went to. They had a booth set up. So we went ahead and sampled their barbecue sauce and we liked this one. So we're gonna give it a try on our ribs tonight as well. Sweet D's and John Tom's Original. All right, we're gonna take the lid off And this is going back in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes, just long enough for the sauce to warm up. All right, what I've done so far is I have cut my potatoes and I washed them again just to make sure they were good and clean. I added olive oil, and then now I'm going to add a spice mixture. Garlic powder, paprika, onion powder, salt, and black pepper. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this all over the top. And then I'm gonna find the lid and I'm gonna give this a really good shake. I have a large cookie sheet that has a lip on it. You're gonna want some kind of pan with a lip because you have to turn these. We're just gonna fill up our cookie sheet. Here's our dinner for tonight, our ribs and our crispy potato wedges. Hey guys, tonight for dinner we are trying a new recipe. We're gonna make homemade Hamburger Helper. I have browned this ground beef. I'm gonna take this ground beef out and I'm gonna put it over on a paper plate to drain, leaving the grease in the pan. Okay, as you can see, my hamburger didn't have very much grease. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little bit of vegetable oil in the bottom of my pan. And we're going to add our onions in, to start getting them softened. Next, we're gonna add in some flour. We're gonna let that flour cook just for a couple of minutes and get the flour taste out. Next, we're gonna add in minced garlic. Next, we're gonna add in beef broth. All right, we're gonna give this a really good stir. We're gonna bring the broth up to a boil. Next, we're gonna add in an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. We're gonna add in some Italian seasoning, seasoned salt, and garlic powder. And we're gonna give that a good stir. We're gonna let this come back up to a boil, which will just take a second. As you can see, it's already starting. We're gonna add in our pasta. I'm using elbow macaroni. We're gonna stir this in really well, making sure that all of the pasta is covered. We're gonna turn this down to a simmer and cover it and let it cook for 12 minutes. Okay, my dish has about 6 minutes left. The recipe does say that if your mixture gets too thick or not enough liquid, that you can add in more broth. Sorry y'all, Abe is eating and drinking, so he's really loud, sorry about that. But you can add in more beef broth or you can add in more water. I'm gonna add in a touch more beef broth, and they did say that the amount of beef broth and water will depend on what type of pasta you use and how much liquid it needs to cook. So I just wanted to come on and show you that I did add a little bit more beef broth. I'll be back when this finishes cooking. My pasta has finished cooking, so I'm going to add in heavy cream, cheddar cheese. Gonna get all this incorporated. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks amazing. Next, we're gonna add it back in our hamburger. And we're gonna give this a good stir. We're gonna put the lid back on and let this go for another 2 or 3 minutes, just long enough for the hamburger to heat back up. And here is dinner tonight at our house. Homemade Hamburger Helper with some parsley flakes on top. Hey guys, tonight for dinner we are having smoked sausage, potatoes, and green beans. I found this recipe a long time ago. I've done a full video on it as well that I will link below. So just bringing you up to speed, I have some red potatoes that I have chopped and rinsed. I've got some smoked sausage that we've cut into medallion-sized pieces, and then my husband is chopping an onion. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to brown off our smoked sausage. So I'm going to meet you over on my cooktop. All right, what I have is some water in my skillet, and I'm going to add my smoked sausage, and I'm going to brown it until the water evaporates. Okay guys, my sausage has started to really fry up, and we're gonna just keep letting this go until all of that water is evaporated. We wanna just brown our sausage. Once that is finished, then we're just gonna transfer all of that sausage onto a paper plate. All right, the next step, we are going to melt some butter in the same skillet that we fried our sausage. We are going to put in our diced onions. Now that my onions are nice and soft, and we've scraped up all those good bits, we are gonna add in minced garlic. All right, we're gonna do the same thing we did with the sausage. We're gonna move this off the heat and let it cool. All right, next we are going to put this together. So we are gonna take our washed potatoes and we're gonna put them in the bowl. We're gonna add some oil. And then in this bowl, I have several different spices. So I'm gonna put those in. I have Slap Your Mama, garlic powder, black pepper, and crushed red pepper flakes. My family doesn't mind the heat, so you can adjust this to your own temperature liking for your house. I've made it whenever I've taken this places without any kind of red pepper in there. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna shake this around and get all of those spices all over those potatoes. Next, we're gonna add in our sausage, as well as our onion, garlic, and butter mixture. We're gonna get all of that in this pan. Then we're gonna add one large can. This is a 28-ounce can, or 2 small cans of drained, cut, fresh green beans. We're gonna put the lid on and we're gonna shake all of this to get some seasoning on everything. So I'm just gonna put this in my crock pot. We're gonna get the lid on these and turn them on low. And here is dinner at our house tonight. Green beans, sausage, and potatoes. Good evening, guys. Tonight we are having baked spaghetti for dinner. And I have my water's boiling for my spaghetti. I have my pan back there so I can brown my hamburger. What I have done so far is I've taken my jar of ragu and emptied it in this bowl. My hamburger's done, it is draining, and my noodles are done. They are draining, and they have already been rinsed with cold water. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, now that my hamburger's all drained, is I'm just gonna add it to my meat sauce. And then I'm gonna give this a really good stir. Sauce is ready, gonna move it to the side. Garlic bread is ready to go in the oven whenever it's time. Casserole dish, I have sprayed it with nonstick cooking spray. And I have my noodles here, and they're draining on a paper plate. So what I do is I want to start with just a small layer of meat sauce. Doesn't have to cover the whole bottom, just gives the noodles something to nestle on, so to speak. Is that a word, nestle? Yeah, that's a word. have your nonstick cooking spray in there so the noodles are not going to stick to the bottom. All right, and then we just take a layer of noodles. And however big or small you want your layers to be, you know your family's preference. I went ahead and cooked that whole box of spaghetti because if there's extra sauce or something, then I can have spaghetti for lunch tomorrow while my husband takes this to work. We're gonna sprinkle some Italian seasoning on top. And this is ready to go in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Everything's cooked, it just needs to be heated up and all the cheese to be melted. Our baked spaghetti just came out of the oven. I've got my garlic bread in, so as soon as it comes out, we'll get everything plated up and show you what we got. And here is dinner at our house tonight. Baked spaghetti, nice thick layers, and garlic bread. And that's a wrap on this week's What's for Dinner video. Thank you so much for following along this week. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys in the next one.